Hi, Tyler with PassionHR here today to talk with you about 3 essential questions every leader should ask each individual on their teams. I've done a lot of executive coaching, I've done a lot of consulting with leaders. I've also been a leader myself of many teams over the last couple of decades. And I found that 3 essential questions have been very effective in helping me fine tune my approach to my teams and know them individually as well as collectively as a team. So these 3 questions I implore every leader to ask of each of their team members are this. Number one, I would ask them what motivates them. And you want to ask them this in context. And I do it this way. I say, if I see you after a long day of work and I see you with a pep in your step on your way out to the car, I can tell it's been a good day. What does that look like? What gave you joy in that day? What motivated you throughout that day? And if you ask your team members that, you're going to get good insight on how to structure work and conversations to keep them motivated. So that's the first one. What motivates you? Second question, I regularly talk with my employees, encourage leaders to do so with theirs, is how best to communicate with you. And again, put it in context. So if there's something I really need to make sure that you are hearing and it's important and connecting, what is the best way to do that? Some people will say by email, so I have it in writing. Some people say, hey, it's great if I can hear it. Some people say, hey, give me the big picture and let me ask questions. And so a lot of leaders are a little bit hesitant to ask this because they'll say, well, hey, I have 20 employees that report to me. How can I communicate 20 different ways? Or whether you have 3 or 4 or 5 employees. Well, what you find is asking that question creates a lot of insight. And what will happen is you'll have 2 or 3 different ways that all of your employees prefer to be communicated. And you can cover those bases as a leader. And the fact that you've had a conversation and the employee knows that you're trying to tailor your approach makes them listen even more, and your communication is even more effective. So the third question is, I want to know, how does someone want to be recognized? And so if I know what motivates them, I know how to communicate effectively with them, there's going to be some good work done. So I want to know, how do I effectively recognize you as you're talking with your employee? How do I effectively recognize you when you've done good work? Some people love the spotlight. They want everyone to know how well they've done, and that's great. Some people don't want to have any kind of accolades publicly done. A quiet thank you or even an email thank you is sufficient and very rewarding. For me, for example, many bosses have assumed, because I enjoy public speaking and I like being in the limelight when it comes to that it's good to recognize me publicly. However, that's very demotivating for me. I'd rather a quiet thank you or an email saying, hey, great job. So you really want to tailor your approach so that you're not demotivating when you're trying to motivate. So if you combine all 3 of these questions, you're going to be very effective in your communication with your team. You're going to be able to motivate them well because you know how each individual likes to be motivated. You're going to know how to communicate effectively to your team on an individual basis and collectively. And then third, you're going to know how to recognize when things go well. So I really encourage you to apply these methods, do it on a regular basis, every 6 months, every 12 months. Hey, we haven't talked about this one. Make sure that I'm communicating well, that I'm motivating you properly, and that I'm recognizing you. And if you do that as a leader, you're going to see phenomenal results. If you'd like help with this, please give PassionHR a call, and we can help you have outstanding results with your leadership and your communication with your teams.